Yeah, no, I'm good for like 6, 7 hours. Usually 2 in the morning. Wake up before 9.
Yeah, I'm going to bed at lately 6, 7. Waking up at 1, 2 p.m.
I just can't fucking do that, man.
You have to be very depressed to pull it off.
I know, but at that point, I would just want to sleep.
Yeah, no. I don't have a choice, I'm a slave to my phone. So when the phone goes off, I have to go. And if the phone isn't going off, I can rest. So if I don't have to get up, I try to just not get up.
The life of a trap phone. It's one of my favorite rap lyrics of all time is Larry June. He was like, big smile on my face when I look over, see the trap phone ringing. I get it, though. I feel the same way about client emails when I see people email me stuff.
Yeah.
I just feel like, I don't know, dude. It's been weird seeing the evolution of the AI stuff. And sometimes I feel like it's moving past me because I don't have a fucking C-Dance 2.0 thing. And they just announced that they're going to not be doing that. Or at least not releasing it for a while because so many people were mad about the Tom Cruise-Brad Pitt fight. And Hollywood was like, hey, we're going to fucking sue you guys. Stop doing this. And
it's another reason I want to, all of us to work together. I feel like we would all push each other to stay busy more. Not push each other as you got to get this done. I just think me seeing you getting all this shit done, you seeing whoever getting all this shit done, you want to keep up with them.
It's like going to the gym with somebody.
Yeah.
When you have a gym buddy, then, it's about accountability.
Yeah.
And a lot of times artists, if they're left to their own devices, they'll just end up creating when they 100% absolutely want to, but to be great, you have to create when you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
You have to. It's not that you have to make something great when you don't feel like it, but you've got to keep the muscles exercised, though.
Yeah. Well, you get trapped in, this has to be perfect. If it's not perfect, then I'm not going to even do it. I think that's what happens when you
perfectionism
on your own.
I've always said that perfectionism is the cousin of cowardice.
Yeah.
It's nothing will be perfect. I probably err too. I could be a little more of a perfectionist probably. I could definitely stand to pay a little more attention to detail and some stuff, but for the most part, I've watched a lot of people just ass fuck their own career by just never being able to pull the trigger, man, and just putting it out there. And it's very sad. It's sad.
How often do you post these podcasts?
Pretty much when I do them. I'm going to start just doing a podcast by myself for my YouTube and live streaming it. And just so I have something to do every day and I can, again, keep that muscle exercise. Because it wasn't until I started doing the AI stuff and it was just really, I was trapped at home. I didn't have a car. You know what I mean? I didn't have another job. It's the only time I've ever had the time to actually try and be a content creator and keep up with the demand of how much content you have to post.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of shit to post on social media if you want social media to take note of you and to like you. And that's why a lot of writers go to Twitter because it's a writing app. Writing doesn't cost you shit.
I've said it before. We live in a world of pitches and pilots. Mm-hmm. It's all just pitches and pilots. And even if you actually get all your friends together and actually make something that you're all proud of and you do it on your own, you're still only going to have one episode.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be where's the second episode?
Well, that's true, though.
I've seen that with so many things. Those Brap guys in Cincinnati put out this really funny show, Roommates Incorporated, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was so good. And it was months ago, and everyone's just been commenting where's the next one? Where's the next one? And they're we're going to get to it. We're going to shoot it soon. You haven't shot it yet? You know what I mean?
Well, that's the other thing, though.
We're used to, I get 10 episodes, spaced out.
There's a reason that TV shows used to be on fucking TV.
Yeah.
Because there was real advertising money. But it's you get all of these people that are spending so much time and energy. And not that this is a bad thing either. I mean, it is a bad thing in one way, but not that them taking time and care in their stuff is bad. But it's just why I don't know, man.
I think it's a rush to get it out. I think you're like, when you actually make something great, especially with other people, not only are you in a rush to get it out because you're proud of it and you want people to see it, but you've done it with other people and you feel like if I don't hurry up and get this out, they're not going to take me seriously. They're going to think that I just dick around and waste people's time, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know. I think that the internet was not. The internet is for slop. I don't know how else to say it. It's just like
Doesn't have to be.
No, it doesn't. No, I'm not saying all content has to be slop.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if it's this thing where like it's this catch-22. Okay, fine. Let's say you made a half-hour episode of something. Let's say you can get 2 trailers and probably 10 clips, if that, of really funny moments that could be viral. And that's going to get you through a few weeks. You know what I mean? Of real hardcore posting if you do that. However, TikToks, Reels, Instagram rewards you for reposting the same shit, basically, with a slight variation.
Right.
It doesn't punish you like it used to. And so, but that's why it's just YouTube and these other things, they aren't a particularly good avenue. YouTube's gotten a lot better, I will say that, but a lot of these things just aren't good avenues for actual full-length narrative type stuff, whether it's TV or anything like that. Plenty of, and also like, man, the web series used to be a way stronger thing. Like there used to be a lot more companies willing to invest in an actual web series.
Well, it's kind of like sketch comedy shows. It's like, it's still there, but it just is completely different, and people don't call it sketch comedy now. It's just the internet. It's just Instagram Reels, TikTok Reels.
Yeah, and
they're all different sketches, so it's basically sketch comedy.
Yeah, it's the platform. It's the platform that everything is presented in is going to determine. I mean, that's why television shows are basically, 48 to 52 minutes or, like 20 to 22 minutes.
Yeah.
Because they have to fit those commercials in there. But now the ad is just something that runs before the whole thing plays. So you get like, HBO, all of their shows are basically like 55 minutes, if it's an hour long. And all they got to do is fit the preview and the credits in at the end.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. It's a weird thing, but I also feel like you got to kind of meet the audience where they're at. Everybody's at home. Movies are too expensive. Even renting movies, off Amazon and shit like that's expensive. But if you can have the output, man. I read this big article about this studio they just shared their whole workflow for how they are cranking out feature films with AI in such a short time. And I haven't seen any of their films, so they very well could be dog shit. But, they had several different Gemini agents set up to where, they were feeding them all these books on screenwriting and all these books on, film and shot composition and photography books and all this stuff. And then, they were running their scripts through that to have the thing edit their script.
Yeah.
Then they, had the thing go through, pick out all the complicated shots and then write special prompts and workflows for those specific shots that they would need.
Yeah.
And, like, all in all, after like a week or whatever, you've got like a pretty much full assembled feature-length piece of content, which, by the way, we're not talking about making the next Goodfellas here. We're talking about something that's going to kill an hour of someone's time. And it's like on Netflix, like Matt Damon said this in that Joe Rogan interview. He was like, it used to be, you got your budget. You basically had 3 big kind of set piece action scenes.
Yeah.
And you would make the first 2 smaller and then save most of your budget for the big third one.
Right.
And now with Netflix, that's inverted because it's like, we just need to get you to click on the movie.
Right. You gotta start real strong.
And keep you there long enough that you're like, well, fuck it, I've already watched 20 minutes. But that's why every Netflix movie has a weak fucking ending.
Yeah.
They all have weak fucking endings. None of them stick the landing.
I think that's one of the problems too, is like everyone tries to like put everything in a box, like the industry people, they're like, oh, it needs to be like this, it needs to be like that. But it's like, dude, we're talking about art, dude. Like, there are no rules, there are no guidelines. Like, at the end of the day, yes, kind of there are, but at the same time,
But see,
look at Pineapple Express. Completely different model. It doesn't starts off with him driving around serving people.
well, I'm just
in his
saying,
car.
even
You know what
from
I
a
mean?
budget perspective,
Great
though.
movie, but like it gains speed and picks up. But like
Yeah.
it's because.
But that was a studio-made movie with
yeah.
actual creatives behind it.
But the reason we gave it that leeway is because it's Seth Rogen, and we went in knowing I'm
Well,
gonna
yeah.
like this. You know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's probably hard for a lot of Zoomers to understand what the initial Seth Rogen craze was like, and just how much clout him and Judd Apatow
It was
had
crazy.
in Hollywood.
It was wild.
But all I'm saying is, you know, when the mode of how people watch it and where changes, the films themselves change. All art is a reflection of the circumstances it was created in some way, I believe.
Yeah.
And so I just don't understand why, you know, on one hand of the debate, you have people that are saying, like, well, they just want to make movies cheaper so they don't have to give people jobs. And it's like, okay, but there is a universe where maybe not all of those people needed to have a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, somebody invented, you know, full frame sensor cameras that could shoot in RAW, that you could literally just augment the exposure of the photo.
Yeah.
So that does, and that was years ago, and it's like, okay, do we need a great lighting guy now? But that's why everything looks like shit now.
Yeah.
Is because we'll shoot in RAW, we'll fucking fix the exposure, because here's the other thing. They don't put everything looks muddy and bland in Netflix movies, and it's not even because they don't have good color people or anything like that. It's because deeper colors takes more information in the final file of the thing. And Netflix's whole proprietary technology was being able to crunch that information down to its base level form and still give you a good quality stream.
Yeah.
But they do that by keeping everything more muted.
Yeah.
You know, if you watch the Blu-ray counterpart of something on Netflix, it's like, you know, and it also depends on which version Netflix used, but even the stuff they make, you know.
It's all backwards now. When you watch something that's shot on actual film, you're like blown away. You're like, man, this looks like incredible. And you're like, it's just because it was shot on old school film.
Yeah.
It's not some fucking digital. It's not fucking
and I'm not even a
Photoshop.
stickler for that. I love digital cinematography because I grew up in its genesis.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Michael
the films
Bay.
that really... No. Michael Bay actually has never shot
Bruckheimer,
digitally.
you know.
No, I'm talking like 28 Days Later, or like just like indie movies. Like a lot of the 2000s indie movies like Primer and other stuff that it's like, you know, digital allowed them to shoot super low budget. And that was like almost a style. That was like a style and aesthetic. Also, the War on Terror had a lot to do with that. Everybody wanted to make documentary style shit. You know what I mean? They wanted the handheld cinema verite feel. But when you see something, shit, you could just look at the trailer of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood versus the trailer of The Adventures of Cliff Booth that David Fincher's coming out with.
Yeah.
Same universe, same settings, same characters, and Quentin Tarantino's movie just pops off the screen.
Yeah.
You know, because he shoots on real film, and film is just picking up deeper color than, and it's not that the digital cameras can't. It's just that it's not as advantageous to anymore.
Yeah, just different.
And when you're shooting on film, it's a finite thing. You know what I mean? You throw it in the camera, you've got 11 minutes to shoot or whatever it is, and, you know, or 50 minutes. And
it's
then it's
super
like,
expensive, right?
Yeah, then everybody's got to stop. Everybody's got to wait for the thing to get reloaded. And then, you know, but that used to be a good thing because that was when the actors got a break. The actors could smoke a cigarette. But now the actors are just like, dude, can we cut? Like, a director can do 50 takes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
gotta let it breathe.
Yeah. And so, but I think that there's nothing really wrong with digital because, like, where you see digital cinematography really shine is on YouTube. You know, you see some of the things that these people are doing with digital cameras, and it's just like, yeah, this is literally fucking... It's movie quality, but it's just like, I'm a big believer that there's metaphysical energy that gets transferred out of us when we touch things and use things. And the editor was touching the film. You know what I mean? You used to be able to see their fingerprint smudges on it and the burns from the ash from their cigarette on it. You know what I mean? There was a human touch to it. Records used to be recorded on tape. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And they were cut and spliced with hands and tape, and and it's like now when the only thing fingers are touching is the computer.
Yeah.
There's just a lot less humanity in
Disconnect.
it. Even though there's still just as much ability, there's still, or capability, but there's just not.
I think you could.
Thing.
I think a good analogy for me would be like the Black Keys, like the first like couple albums that were just so raw and gritty and like unbelievable, and then they moved to Nashville and overproduced everything, and it just was too clean. There was just no soul.
Yeah, Danger
in it.
Mouse was kind of the undoing of that band, honestly.
Yeah, that album was the album, and that was a great album.
All the ones they did, Brothers and what was the other one?
I thought Brothers was their first not good album. I'm not going to say it was a bad album. And that was the album when I was introduced to them. I was late to the party. I didn't even know.
I was very late to the party. It was Eastbound and Down turned me onto him.
Yeah, me too.
When he's going down the hallway.
Me too. I was into them at that point because I think that was after Brothers had come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's a good analogy because like they were when it was just two guys in a fucking garage in Akron with shitty old amps and guitars. It sounded unbelievable. It's some of the best music, in my opinion, ever made as far as like just raw rock
just
music.
Classic garage shit. Damn, they've had a fucking ton of albums.
I know, dude. Those first four, really. The first five.
I've only heard, brother. Dude, Attack and Release. That was the first one they did with Danger Mouse.
That was Danger Mouse, yeah.
Attack and Release is good. Brothers is good. El Camino is pretty good.
Yeah.
I've heard Ohio Players.
To me, this was like...
Which one had Little Black Submarine?
This was like when a rapper like put out like an amazing album and then like they would just start putting out albums that would have like one or two good songs. For me, that was El Camino and On. And Brothers, like I said, that was the album I was introduced to them and I was like, wow, these guys are amazing. This is pretty good. Then I heard their first... I was like, let me check out their old shit. And that's what blew my mind and I became obsessed with the Black Keys.
Yeah.
I told everyone about the Black Keys. I'm like, do you know
and they were part of the new kind of garage wave of the early 2000s, or I forget what that.
Well, I was delivering pizzas, dude. And I remember one time I pulled up to a like older lady's house, and she came out and she was like, "Is that Jimi Hendrix?" And I was like, "Nah, it's just two guys from Akron, the Black Keys." Like she really thought it was Jimi Hendrix.
Dan Auerbach is like a legendary songwriter, though.
Yeah.
And I like the drummer because he just talks shit. He's like so classically Ohioan.
Yeah.
And he just like fucking just bitches about everything. It's awesome.
Yeah.
How did we get on the Black Keys?
I was making an analogy that like how everything now is
right.
washed out and overproduced and too perfect is exactly
and that too perfect is exactly right because I think about this all the time. When you were talking about those like B movies and stuff that you watch, it's like I don't know, man. I know a lot of those dudes, because I watched a lot of them, and it's not like the cinematography's bad.
And then, like, Cuba Gooding Jr. will be in it for, like, 2 minutes. You're like, what is he doing in here?
Literally. Or it'll be, like, the third lead on some popular television show.
Yeah.
A bunch of them have the
like, wait, I like that guy.
The brother-in-law from Breaking Bad. I saw one of those. He's in it for, like, 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, those movies, it's like watching like a Joe Biden speech. You know what I mean? The most of it, you're just like, what the fuck is this? And then at the end, it'll be like, and if you got to ask, it's too late. And you're like, I like that.
Yeah. But it's like, you can see, and they'll have like, that big name person, and they're effectively a cameo. Yeah. Like the lead is somebody you've never fucking heard of, but they're like starring, fucking the son from Breaking Bad or whatever. And you could just see the look on their face that it's like, they are here because they got paid $7,500. Like,
it's so funny too how like so many like storylines involve middle-aged guy, young girl dies.
Yeah, girl dies.
Like what?
Guy goes on lonely vengeance quest.
And then we wonder why like they're pushing like Hollywood and everyone's pushing so hard for like the femme movies where like, the lead character's a woman and she's a badass and kills everyone.
Yeah.
Well, like that's why.
Also, the other thing is we gotta stop acting like revenge is this normal.
Yeah, like at some point
people get murdered
and wouldn't be like, hey man, I don't think you're okay.
Yeah. Exactly. People would be like, yeah, we better leave him alone. Yeah. His daughter and his wife
just
were just killed in front of him.
People, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. He's only got like 3 gun safes. You know what I mean? And it's just like it's just revenge it just doesn't happen that much. But it's a third of all movies.
Yeah.
Literally a third of all movies right now that aren't like animated or chick flicks. They're just revenge stories. It's 3 tours in Afghanistan.
You know what I think is like subconsciously, zeitgeist wise, whatever. I think we have a culture, a society that's so beaten down. To watch Jason Statham beat up a bunch of bullies just makes us feel so good.
Yeah, that Beekeeper movie, it was just like, let's make the villain the biggest pieces of shit possible. They're just scammers. They're just like, you know, annoying bro scammers.
They were like telemarketers.
Yeah, they were like telemarketer scammers. And then the secret Beekeeper organization.
Dude, that movie is so fun. Who in the fuck, like, do they have to, like, all right, you made it into this secret thing in the CIA, but here's the catch: you have to learn how to take care of bees. Or are they already beekeepers?
What is it? What, like? Oh my god, I hate it too, because it's like, first of all, how do you even do, like, it's the most secret of the secret of it? It's like, it's already the CIA. Does it need to be that much secret?
They
like,
protect the world.
Yeah, and it's like they actually protect the world. It's like, so they're going after telemarketers, or was it that he was a former beekeeper?
Yeah.
Because it's always like, well, you don't want to mess with him. He used to be in the CIA.
No, all of us watching. We're the black woman.
Yeah,
we're the black woman that got scammed and murdered. Jason
really
Statham
nice black woman
is
too.
avenging us.
She was so nice. That character, you like wanted her to live.
We're sitting there going, "Get him!"
But she did have big like, help! I've fallen and I can't get up vibes.
Dude, all these B movies I watch, half of them have an old black woman that gets killed, and then they spend.
Well, and it's also like
Liam Neeson movies. There's a lot of
or like The Equalizer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like older guy has to help younger sex worker or sex trafficking victim. They're all the same movie. All of the backstory is like, he had a dark past in Afghanistan.
The wildest part is that, like, as a human being, like, that's the most unhealthy behavior you can exhibit. Is to just, I'm revenge all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you would never want to...
It's also funny when
you never want to be around someone like that.
He put that life behind him, but they forced him back into it. Meanwhile, he just has a secret trapdoor button that unlocks a whole death room in his house filled with just, like, every weapon imaginable. Yeah. He's got it all exactly where it needs to be. Fills his perfect little custom-built kit bag with it. It's like, I don't think you didn't want this to happen.
You gotta throw him out of the man cave on Sunday. Like, Jason, shut up about the cartel, dude.
Yeah, I know.
We know they killed your family.
It's like, come on, dude. It's been 14 years.
I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah, I'm fucking out of here. Oh, I got bees to keep. Someone had, I think Sam Tripoli had a fucking joke about Jason Statham, because the movie he came out with after that was just called The Working Man.
Yeah. I saw that one too.
Jason Statham
wears a ball cap.
Works.
He wears a hat that's bent.
Truthfully, though, The Working Man was actually a way better movie than The Beekeeper,
it was.
In my opinion.
I enjoyed it.
I was actually pretty surprised by it. He had that one movie, too, called Homefront.
Yeah.
Where he was former DEA guy and Hillbilly James Franco.
Pretty sure I've seen every single Jason Statham movie, aside from the one you told me about.
I really wish people would give him real acting roles. He's a great actor. He actually is. Like, there are, like, 2 or 3 movies.
Snatch.
Where
Snatch.
Snatch, he's amazing. London, he's amazing. And, what else? Fucking, Revolver. That was, like, a later Guy Ritchie movie. Mm-hmm. That no one ever talks about, but was far better than any of the other later Guy Ritchie movies.
Yeah. I didn't hate Rock and Rolla. I know everyone else
Rock and Rolla was probably the last one. See, now everybody talks about it like they loved it all along. And I'm like, yo, people hated this fucking movie.
I get why people hated it, because it was like, it's hard to explain, but it was like a fanboy Guy Ritchie movie made by Guy Ritchie.
They all feel like that.
You know what I mean?
It feels like Guy Ritchie doing a Guy Ritchie impression.
But Rock and Rolla specifically, way more than Snatch or Lock, Stock.
Well, Rock and Rolla, though, here's the problem, too. After Guy Ritchie had his kind of like clout, if you were a big actor and you came up in England, you had to do one Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
And so that was Gerard Butler's one Guy Ritchie movie.
Yeah.
And Gerard Butler, like, this is like when he was about to hit his real run.
Yeah.
Of like, it was like 300 and then it goes into like
The
Law-Abiding
rom-coms.
Citizen.
Yeah. He did some good rom-coms.
Law-Abiding Citizen, I think, is the best. Like, he used to work for the CIA. Now spies are dime a dozen. This dude's a brain. Fuck yeah, dude. That movie kicks. So, first of all, I have seen that movie probably 27 times because it's just like if it's on TV or if it's right there, and you're just like, whatever. I just want to see people die.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't think anybody got more thorough revenge. At least he was like, I'm really gonna fuck the whole system up, and like they need the National Guard by the end of the movie. It was sweet. I love that movie.
Howard Stern's talked about how he'll put on like not even a Statham movie, just like a YouTube clip of the movie of like when he like beats up all the bullies.
Yeah.
Like fuck you guys, and he just like beats the fuck out of like 8 dudes. Yeah, exactly. There's something like that.
Not
like,
beating up little girls, do ya?
I get it, man. I get off on that shit.
I don't know. I fucking hate hand-to-hand combat scenes. They're so boring to me.
I honestly look at my phone with the combat scenes going on.
I do too, because I'm just like, okay, wake me up in 8 minutes when the fucking story moves again.
Punch kick.
They fucking pad the movies so much with it. And it's like, I don't know. I can't deal with it. I think action movies have suffered greatly, though, especially since, the studio, what nobody also talks about with Hollywood is that during the rise of Netflix, a lot of big, high-profile directors had falling outs with their sort of home studio and the studio that they usually worked with.
Yeah.
So, like, Zack Snyder has his big falling out with Warner Brothers. He goes to Netflix. And Netflix is just happy to have him, and they have piles of money, so they're like, yeah, do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But directors aren't supposed to get that.
Right.
It's actually historically probably never worked out well.
Yeah, the push and pull is needed.
You need boundaries. And it's like David Fincher, Sony pisses him off after Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah.
He goes over to Netflix and makes the 2 worst movies of his career, in my opinion. And Michael Bay, same thing.
I think there's exceptions. Like, I think Seth Rogen's an exception to that. Because, like, he's cut himself off from Sony completely and said, like, I'll only work with you guys if you give me my own building that you guys aren't allowed to come in on the lot.
Yeah.
And, like, I think, like, James Gunn, too, is kind of like that. Like, I like his shit, but he's, like, gotten kind of out there where I'm like, I don't know, man.
Like James Gunn. I've never liked James
Gunn.
I do like his movie Super, and I bet if I watched it now, it would just be the most, like, millennial cringe slap
like, for
ever,
example, like, I love Peacemaker. I think that show's fantastic. I'll watch it all day. But it's super fucking annoying how everyone likes Swedish rock. Like, stop. That's too fucking James Gunn, dude. Like, get it out of here.
There's just, like, I don't know. The superhero shit is played out, and it's got to go because it really stole a lot of the fun. I mean, just when you go back to the 90s and you just look up 90s action movies, and then you just look at the plots of these movies, they're all sick as fuck. And they have nothing to do with anything you knew about. Yeah, they had some Batman movies and Spider-Man movies, I guess, for the 2000s after the X-Men movies.
Dude, imagination was peaking, man. Last Action Hero.
Just Money Train.
I mean, Last Action Hero was a commercial flop. That movie is incredible.
Yeah, it is. Last Action Hero, Terminator. Fucking... Or like, like T2, you had Jurassic Park.
I honestly don't understand why they don't put out a Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger movie like every 6 months. I would watch it. I feel like everyone else would watch it.
I mean, they kind of have, but also people don't care as much about them. Like,
I still do, dude.
See, you're hilarious.
Like, I'm the everyman. That fucking name recognition, face recognition.
You are the target demo, dude. You are literally the target demo for Jason Statham. You're the Gen X everyman.
And I'm in the microcosm of Columbus, Ohio. Like, I'm in the perfect place to be that.
I just, recently I went through, and every year around this time before the Oscars or whatever, when everyone's like talking about movies, I always go back and watch all the movies I didn't get to the year before. Like the new stuff that I was like, unsure about or whatever.
Yeah, I still do that.
I have like a 2-week window where I'm super open-minded. I'm sick of doing everything else, and I just want to watch some new movies. And I watched like 10 new movies, I think, that came out last year, and it was like a fucking 7-to-10 ratio, I'll be honest. It was like good. Like there was a lot of good movies that came out. A lot of them just weren't super well known, but like the most recent 28 Days Later I didn't have super high hopes for it, given how the first 28 years later went. But the sequel to that, The Bone Temple, it was fucking fantastic. Like, I was blown away. And Train Dreams was sick. I really like that movie.
What's it called?
Train Dreams.
It's
on Netflix. It's about a guy who works on train tracks. It's like his whole life. If somebody told me the plot of it, I would just be like, I will never watch that movie. But it's just the most stunning, beautiful cinematography I've ever seen. It's like this guy who just works in the railroads in like the late 1800s, early 1900s out in Idaho, and like it's just about his life. It's got
Wait, I think I started that.
Yeah, it's got.
Has he got the dude from that fighting movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of his name?
I watched like 10, 15 minutes of it.
Joel Edgerton.
Yeah.
Who I think is one of the best actors working today, honestly. I fucking love him.
He's really good.
He's been in 2 other Netflix movies that were amazing, which is The King and The Stranger. Dude, The Stranger is a sick fucking movie if you've never seen it.
I'm pretty sure I have. I'm so bad.
It's an Australian movie. I really enjoy Australian films. There's a lot of really, really good Australian movies. And they're not, they play just like American ones do for the most part. I thought that
Wentworth show was miles ahead of Orange is the New Black, but
it's cool because like the landscape of Australia is so interesting.
Yeah.
And like the actual settings that they're in is so like different than what you see normally here. Because I think also Hollywood got really bad at shooting America.
Yeah.
It's just like nothing in the movies actually looks like a real place someone lives.
Yeah.
And even if they're shooting on location and stuff like that, there's just some times where I'm just like, wow, like this, all the Netflix shows and all this stuff, like, it just feels like, it's like the same feeling of those like novels you get at an airplane gift shop or airport gift shop.
Yeah.
That like you need something to read, you've got 9 hours on your flight.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and their names are always like, Veronica Ellis or whatever. Like it's just like, it's just like it's airport book, and that's so much of what like a lot of Netflix and Hulu content is like they literally find airport books and they're like, hey, we'll give you $100,000 to buy the rights to this.
Yeah, it used to be so transparent. Like when in the time of when Sneaky Pete came out. Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
Like when that came out, and
that was what, Giovanni Ribisi?
Yeah, and Your Honor with Bryan Cranston came out like shortly after that, and there was the one with Ron Perlman, Hand of God. There was like there was a string of like really good shows, but it was just so plain of like, okay, here's the shows worth watching.
Yeah.
And then there's just a huge slate of stuff that's like now it's way more muddied, where like you really can't tell. They kind of mixed it up and like put good actors in shitty stuff and put, bad actors and good stuff, and you're like, what the fuck, man? And it's like it's all muddied up now to where like you kind of just have to watch it.
A lot of the stuff too, there's a reason like big rom-com movies don't come out anymore, and it's because they just stretch them out into shows. Because it's an easy payday for pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, everything's been so fuck. It's like
if you're on a set, like it's like air conditioned and like it's not a slog of like making something true from the heart on location or whatever.
Well, dude,
something like The Walking Dead.
They won't even make a comedy anymore because they're like, nope, comedy not profitable. We're not making
also
them.
because like there ain't shit to laugh about, and podcasts and stand-up comedians are funnier than what most comedies could be now.
Yeah.
Humor, I think, moves too quick for movies to be able to...
See, I still... But then you turn on HBO and you watch The Studio and you go, it's possible.
HBO's, that's your people, Apple.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if they can do that and make 10 episodes, we could make a movie that good. You know what I mean?
It's a different thing, though, man. It's a different thing. It'd be hard to cram all the stuff that's funny about The Studio into a movie. Well, I mean, I see your point, though. I mean, I know what you're saying, but to
me, it's more about the dialogue and the acting and the talent on the screen. I mean, if you really, like, sure, Eastbound and Down, it's like a cool storyline, but nothing about that would keep you watching it if it was not for Dana McBride and that dialogue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's what you're watching it for. And I think we have that ability. Like Banks, I think, has that ability. I think Adam has that ability. I think, with your script writing ability, and like I'm always like talking to you about coming to you for structure, but a lot of the times that's just because like whatever concept we're working on, I feel like that person needs to have their stamp on it. You know what I mean? Before we bring you,
Yeah.
you know, but
I just, I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of ways that Hollywood could be using AI to help themselves, and they're going to get to it in a couple of years regardless. But right now it's just like, I just think, because I consume so much internet content and so much stuff on YouTube, and I know the quality of the stuff that's on there, and even in other things like Nebula or like Mubi or whatever, there's still a ton of good indie movies coming out too. And especially because of A24, even though A24 is like an official brand now.
Yeah, to me, A24 just is Hollywood now. I mean,
they literally are.
Chopped.
It's just
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's chopped.
It is totally
As the
chopped.
kids say, Hollywood
is a
AF.
chopped unk.
Yeah, it is a chopped unk. Dude, that's 100% correct. But that's also why A24 is giving like 19-year-old kids $20 million to make a fucking Backrooms movie.
See, I think everyone looks at A24 and is like, wow, they're so genius. How are they doing this? But I'm like, they're just recognizing who's good and who's not. It's very simple.
They also just have a formula too. They absolutely have a
Yeah,
formula.
they take someone who's like either a proven commodity or someone with an amazing idea, and then they put all the most talented people in the industry behind it, production-wise, acting-wise, cinema. You know what I mean?
But also
Like,
a lot of their shit. I mean, it's cheap. They make movies for cheap.
but they know who's good. They don't put shitty people in those positions, man. I feel like the rest of Hollywood is just like crank it out. It's so commodified. Even like the meetings and the fucking corporate side of it is so. They've commodified being nice to where you don't even know who's actually a nice person anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone's bullshitting.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's why I think, though, that it's like whoever figures out the best method of how to sell their shit over the internet is ultimately going to win if you're talking about money. Because it's just like the pie that everybody's going to be eating from in Hollywood is going to be less and less. Now, keep in mind, it's still juicy fucking pie.
Yeah.
Like, there's a ton of money in Hollywood still. Everyone acts like it's dead, and it's like, no, dude. Hollywood could just fail for the next 10 years and still have money left.
The money in Hollywood is in the talent, in the studios, the lots,
Well, no, yeah, just the
real
assets
estate
and all that. But the fact is, these studios are part of larger conglomerates.
Yeah.
And those conglomerates, the studio is just simply a debt obligation. It's just simply like, we just have to keep the stock price this high, so the conglomerate's stock price is still this high. And that's why with streaming, everybody adopted it because it's a much safer bet. Because you don't need to have every movie be a hit. You just have to keep making movies that are good enough to keep people on the app month to month.
Yeah.
And that's why then when they realized, like, oh my God, we don't have to release the whole thing all at the same time. And then they just started going back to weekly releases and stuff. It's just like, oh, fuck you. Even though I'm an actual proponent of that, I think that it's better. I think you do enjoy a show far more when you have to wait a week between episodes. I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the smartest way if you're putting it out. It's the smartest way to market it and keep people interested for,
I just think about like
an
Succession.
extended amount of time.
Like Succession, dude, like I was a show I fucking waited for.
But I mean, you got to be smart about it, dude. If it's an unproven entity, I don't know that I'm going to remember to come back and watch it. The reason I come back next week and watch Succession is because I'm opening the HBO Max app and it's the first thing that pops up.
Yeah, but also, I mean, I don't know. The other thing that's probably really hard is figuring out, I mean, everybody's viewing and watching habits are so different and like kind of circumstantial to their life. Because like, dude, I don't have the fucking patience to sit down and the last show I watched was Beef on Netflix.
Oh, that was incredible. I binge watched that.
I watch it every year now since it came out, and this was my third run through of it, and it's fucking I genuinely think it's probably a top 3 show for me.
It was incredible.
It's and the season 2 is coming out, and I'm not excited. I'm hoping
there's a second season of that.
Yeah, but it's not with the same characters. It's a whole new setting, different characters, same creator. So we'll see. And it's like Kaylee Spaney and Oscar Isaac. So like,
Speaking of Beef, what did you think of the what's the one with Jeremy Allen White, the bear?
I loved it. I have yet to see season 3 or 4 because I heard that it was
Those are
so
the controversial ones.
Yeah, and I just was like, season 2 of The Bear is like it's one of the best seasons of television I've ever seen in my life. That whole sequence of the cousin wearing the suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, like that changed my life.
It's incredible.
Like, I was just like, dude, who the fuck made this?
Yeah, it was
like that. His whole arc. It was all so perfect that I was like, I'll wait till I truly have run out of stuff to watch to come back to this.
I think the criticisms of the 3rd and 4th season were unfair. I think a show like that's so good, you have to give it room to evolve. You have to understand it's not going to be the same thing. And it was a bit pretentious. It was a bit like artsy, fucking, okay, we get it. You guys got some like really big food people involved with the show that are giving you pointers now or something. But like, it was like the whole season was like, it was almost like a Walking Dead season. Like, all right, man, get on with the story, dude. We get it. It's a beautiful dish, okay? It looks very pretty. Like,
show me what's going on.
Yeah.
Show me these mentally dysfunctional Chicago.
Yeah, let's go some Richie do it.
Yeah, exactly. I just, I worked in kitchens for a pretty long time, and
most accurate food service industry show I've ever seen.
Yeah. Also, not really many shows or movies about people running a small business or trying to keep a small business running.
I think that's why.
And you see in people that scrub the floors,
so authentic,
and then they find the fucking tomato jars, and the money's in the fucking tomatoes, and it's like, oh my god, I love that show. I really do. And I'm sure I'll like the other seasons too, because dude, I've got a high threshold for artsy fartsy shit. I do not mind artsy fartsy shit at all. I eat that shit up.
I'm the same way.
I don't really care, but
we both like Tree of Life.
Something like Beef, though, it hit so many. There's so many different angles that it hit, and I looked into the creator of it, and he was just a writer on a bunch of random different shows for a long time. You could tell this is something. A lot of this shit he had lived through in one way or another.
Yeah.
And and just like how fucking Korean the show is, you know what I mean? And just like, but guys from that era that are like the same age as me, like the radio rock, in the soundtrack and just all of it, dude. Like, there's just so much interesting. I don't know. I just love that show. I don't think I've ever had a show that affected me that much. I've had shows that I saw and was like, oh my god, that's the best show I've ever seen. But Beef is like, it's like listening to like an emotional record or something like that. I don't know how else to describe it, but I was like, dude, I just feel like this show was fucking made for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping the next season will be good. I imagine it will, but it's like, I want to see what those people are doing now.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see what the consequences of season 1 are. Dude,
that's why I'm so like that like I'm constantly telling like Banks or whoever, I'm like, dude, we just have to like make something with like a good like cliffhanger so that like people want to come back. Like that's what I want to see. Like that's what I would come back and watch for. Like,
I mean, like, people forget that General Hospital is still on.
Yeah.
Or like it ended a few years. Like its run was like 70 years.
You cannot name a great TV show that does not end almost every episode on a crazy cliffhanger.
Yeah. It depends. Now that's true. But it didn't used to be that way.
I mean, even Sopranos. I mean, sure, it wasn't every episode was a crazy cliffhanger, but most episodes was a pretty intense, like, oh, fuck, what's going to happen
But the other thing is, though, you don't even have to write shit to be a cliffhanger if the plot and the characters are good enough.
Yeah.
Because then you just naturally want to see what happens next.
I think it's a combination of all the things.
But there's an art to cliffhangers. I love a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Where it's
the
like,
cliffhanger doesn't work if I don't care about the character.
Set up the action, or you show the reaction before and then end it.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh my god, they saw something crazy. What? It's awesome, dude. It's movie magic.
I like the cliffhangers that give you the carrot. You know what I mean? They let you see the monster. But then you don't really get like the full what happened until next week. But they're not going to leave you completely hanging with nothing. That was, I feel like, where Walking Dead broke the trust with a lot of people.
Yeah. Walking Dead is responsible for a lot of why TV sucks now.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, they like just totally gayified the show.
Carl! Oh, Carl! Oh, Carl!
Like literally every conversation involves crying, and it was like, dude, is this like a dating reality
It's just
show?
like, bro,
or-
we get it. The humans are the real Walking Dead. It's so fucking obnoxious, bro.
That's
I
hilarious.
hate it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, also just a lot of like walking in the woods. I'm
Yeah.
like, can we get out of the woods?
Yeah.
Is there anywhere else you guys could walk?
Further
to?
the plot in any way. They would spend a whole
But this is
episode
also why I'll say
just
I
inching it forward.
I will vouch for Fear the Walking Dead, the second Walking Dead show that they made, the
Yeah.
first spinoff show. That was cool. Every 3 episodes, completely new location.
I think I started that one.
That one was way more of like a traveling across the
I mean, the whole
country.
fun of the show is they're like, oh my God, it's zombies. Try in a lake on a houseboat. You know what I
Here's
mean?
the thing that I will say too, the first 2 seasons of that show are impeccable.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like a revolutionary
Well,
thing when it happened.
I think John Barenthal had a big hand in that. And a lot of people, and I was one of them, dude, because I didn't know who John Barenthal was in that first season. I was kind of like, who the fuck is this guy? He's kind of ruining it for me. But when I
Yeah,
look
it's
back
like, who
on
acts
it,
like that?
in retrospect,
That was his.
that was what had me drawn in, I think, more than it was. I mean, obviously Andrew Lincoln too, but I think their chemistry was like such a big part of the show and like what really kept me watching.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, TV's, there's still a lot of good shit out there. There is, and everybody acts like Hollywood's completely down and out. And the problem is it's not, I mean it is, but only in the sense that,
Its creative imagination is dying.
well, but also keep in mind, like people act like, well, Hollywood's been shitty for years. It's like, okay, but also like every Marvel movie makes at least like $400 million.
But I mean, it's pretty hard to argue that it's all sequels and remakes now.
Yes, and that's our fault.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the chicken or the egg. Well, that's all they put out, so
Well,
that's all there is to
well,
watch, and
it's-
so that's all we watch,
it's-
and that's all they put out.
It's
And-
our fault, but it's like it's my everyman's perspective. You know, it's dumb executives thinking that that's
But also, if
the
you look
right
at it,
way that you can tell artists that no, it's got to have fucking Chevy Chase as the dad or whatever. You know.
it's yeah. I just think that it's a lot of movies. There's a lot of movies that have come out recently that did very well that weren't sequels or remakes. I mean, if you look at Sinners, if you look at Barbie, you know, yeah, it's based off Barbies, but it's still like it was an original kind of out of nowhere movie. And I mean, look, it's how it is. It's not like Hollywood hasn't had sequels and remakes before. It's just that whatever happened in the 90s was in the early 2000s was something really special.
Yeah.
And everything was just cooking on all cylinders during that time. And it was more than likely due to the executives and the guys that were actually in the studios and what projects they were letting happen. But
I think it's a war on artists. I think it's been an all-out war on artists for fucking 50 years since the fucking blues got popular.
I mean,
I think they're
that-
at war with anyone who's a true artist in the industry. The actual entertainment industry wants every real artist to know you're replaceable.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that. There's also the one thing the AI and the AI revolution, whatever you want to call it, has taught me is how much just straight up disdain for artists some people feel. And not that they don't like their work or they think that person's an asshole, but like the idea of an artist itself, they hate it.
Oh yeah,
And they're so mad.
It's subconscious jealousy. What do you do all day?
Yeah.
You sit around, and when you have an
Yeah.
idea, you write it down.
And it's like, I don't know, I haven't experienced a lot of that
Lucky bastard.
until seeing the AI stuff and where they're kind of like mask off and they see, you know, they say like, well, you won't keep it from us anymore. It's like, keep what? Who was keeping anything from you?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, dude, you learned how to code. I
Dude,
don't know what to
it's
tell
the
you.
same thing. I said this about stand-up when I did stand-up comedy, like towards the end and after I quit. Every single person, I truly believe this, every single person that walks into a stand-up comedy show, whether it's in their subconscious and they'll never realize it or be able to admit it or whatever, they all think that they can do that better than the guy on stage or the girl on stage. every single person in the audience, it's some part of their brain believes they can do that. If they really practiced and put the time in, they can do that better than you.
Yeah.
I think that's with all art, entertainment. You know, if you have enough success at it, people will look at it and go, shit, I could have done that.
It's like what Logan Roy said in Succession. He was like, you know, all of a sudden you change the world on its axis and everyone acts like it was so fucking obvious. And it's like, it's true.
Yeah.
I fucked that quote up, but it was something to that nature. Like, you come up with the idea and struggle and strive, everyone calls you a fucking retard. And then when you do it, everyone's like, whoa,
well,
shit.
duh. Yeah.
Oh. And yeah, that's annoying. And it's also one of those things where, like, people, they think they know what they want. But, like, the difference is, because now, you know, in our culture, because of the internet and all this other stuff, you have there's a lot of the skill gaps have shrunk. So, like, you know, highly skilled information and technical information on how to run a camera or do CGI or, you know, any of those type of jobs. A lot more people have gotten into it because they can learn themselves.
Yeah.
But at the same time, or a lot of like directors and stuff can be kind of DIY and self-taught and do all these things themselves.
I think it's too selfish. I think a lot of the times from like, not what I've seen like just with people we know, but just like what I know about the industry and stories I've heard on Howard or wherever, is it's more like, oh, this guy's got a great idea. Instead of supporting him and being like, dude, you got a great idea, let's make your thing happen. I'm going to eat his whole idea and then regurgitate out some mutated form of it and basically just steal it, but it's different, so he can't.
And also, everybody wants to put their stamp on something.
And I think people even do that subconsciously. I'm not even saying.
You also find that there's just a lot of people that are obsessed with credit.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, it's your resume. You kind of live and die by your IMDb in the business, I guess. But on the lower levels, too, you just find people that they're just like, well, you know, I did this and that, and so I need credit. And there's nothing wrong with wanting credit, but like you find that there's a lot of people that are clearly there to just like get credits.
Yeah.
And versus actually working on something. But what I was saying before too is like there's plenty of people that are skilled and talented now, but like skill and talent is a part of it, but really it's being able to have a vision is what kind of sets you apart. And so Hollywood and video games and a lot of like technical creative industries are filled with these like super highly skilled, capable, intelligent people that don't really have a lot of ideas because they used all their brain muscle getting that high skill and intelligence.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of people that are true artists are retarded.
Well,
like,
I mean, dude, I think
like,
it's just that part of your brain where if you're like, sit down and give me a funny idea, you're not going to be able to think of one. But if you're like, hey, man, let's go drive around and maybe hit golf balls or fucking go shoot hoops or whatever, you'll probably have 10 funny ideas. You just have to take that pressure off yourself.
What's crazy, though,
and
is
once you have success, you're not supposed to do that.
But also, Hollywood used to have those people that it was like, hey, I need 10 funny ideas right now, or you're fired.
Right.
And
well, that's SNL.
You know, any writer's room or like Mad TV and stuff like that. But also, those guys could do it. Or like, you know, the Hollywood would be like, hey, the script is a mess. We need a new draft by Monday.
I always thought that was the paradox of SNL. Is like they're that hardcore about it, but at the end of the day, like, how many bad years has SNL had?
Yeah,
where you're like, woof, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's just like, and it's competitive, and it's like sort of merit based. And just about like who can have the best sketches, because if you don't end up coming up with sketches, you sort of leave.
I feel like everywhere I look at entertainment, all the best things are someone with a good idea and other people that are really good at their craft supporting that person with their good idea, like Tarantino, or, you know, like you were saying with like Bruckheimer, Gunn, Bay. It's like everyone buying into, okay, this guy's got the vision. We get it. We're just going to do whatever we need to do to help him with his vision. That's every Transformers movie.
But I think this
Mark Wahlberg didn't go in like, I'm going to make this movie good. Let's shoot it this way. You know what I mean?
I think it still happens though. I think that Hollywood still supports people, and I think people would be very surprised at how much leeway a lot of directors get.
I think that's the only reason Hollywood succeeds.
But you have to understand, when somebody sees somebody that's making the Minecraft movie, they assume it's just some like director that sold his soul and is like miserable, but just did it for the money. But like a lot of people got into it to do it for the money.
Oh yeah.
Like there are the people that are like, yo, I'm fucking skilled enough that like I could just get in here and make a lot of money in this business because I'm good at doing it. And it's not their entire fucking identity and all that, but it's their profession. They're a professional filmmaker. They're a hired gun.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of those people in the business, and hats off to them because the people are always usually really capable and stuff.
Yeah.
But the truth is, the industry lives and dies by the visionaries. The George Lucases and the Michael Bays and the James Camerons, those people have funneled more money into the business than just about anybody else. And so, but that's also, there's those directors with hired guns that like they can get on first base. That's what they do.
That's what's so frustrating being in Columbus is like we've got a million people that know every fucking camera, that know every fucking lens,
where we're at.
And they don't know where to point it. They don't know who to point it at. They have
People
no
are
fucking
so
clue.
bad
They
at
don't even
location.
think about it.
People are
They're
so bad
It doesn't
at
matter. The shot will look good. Okay, well, do you care who's on the screen or the script they're reading from? Like, what
Yeah, it's terrible. But I want to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, me
and
too.
it's starting to get chaotic in the house. So we did an hour though.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, hey, like and subscribe, and it's Dusty and TJ, and thanks for listening.